I'm a pretty chill guy, but there are a few things in life that I hate more than this. Going to a car dealership. Every time my wife and I are in the market for a new car, we're forced to visit the local car dealership. And the process involves a lot of unnecessary waiting, painful haggling, and encounters with many practices that are quite frankly, downright deceitful. So in this video, I want to share with you some of these disingenuous car dealership practices so that you can not only recognize them, but hopefully avoid them outright. Hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tay from Financial Tortoise, where we learn to grow our wealth slow and steady. The first most obvious way car dealerships rip us off is by offering inconsistent pricing. Shopping for cars is not like shopping for most other products. Unlike, say, laptops or dishwashers, cars are typically not sold for one standard price. 10 people can go into a dealership and each pay a completely different amount to buy the exact same vehicle. This for me just feels completely wrong. I understand that homes in the same neighborhood could sell for different prices because not all homes are identical. Even the exact same layout could have different view and different corner of the street. However, cars with the same model and same specs are identical. Economists actually have a term for this. It's called, not surprisingly, price discrimination. Instead of charging everyone the same price, the seller charges the buyer different prices based on his or her willingness to pay. The dealership essentially is trying to milk as much money as they can out of their customer. If you seem more gullible, they'll upcharge you by $2,000. If you seem like a type to put up a fight, they may upcharge you only by $1,000. Yes, we shouldn't group all dealerships in this category, given I'm sure there are dealerships that do not engage in this strategy. I just haven't found one yet. The fact is that many dealerships do engage in it, and they do it aggressively. Deceptive marketing tactics, hidden fees, and overpriced unnecessary add-ons. And to make matters worse, this ugly strategy is deployed unevenly. Some studies found that dealerships tend to charge people of color more, older people more than younger individuals, and older women compared to other age and gender groups. So it's not a surprise that many have come to call car dealerships that deploy these strategies stealership. I've seen this firsthand and found haggling over the price of a new car with aggressive commission-seeking salespeople to be quite exhausting and maddening. If this doesn't get you pretty riled up, let's move on to a second way dealerships rip us off. The second way car dealerships rip us off is by lowballing on trade-in offers. And this too I have unfortunately experienced firsthand. I've heard that dealerships tend to see a buyer who's looking to trade in their used car like a naive deer that just wandered into a lion's den. People are often looking to trade in their cars at a dealership because they don't want to deal with the hassle of directly selling it. However, this signals to the dealership that we're either naive when it comes to car shopping, or we are price insensitive when it comes to getting cash for a used vehicle. So not only does a dealership raise the price of the car they sell you, they also really lowball you on the trade-in. Many years ago, when I was less financially savvy and less better looking than today, I was one of these naive car shoppers looking to trade in my used car at a car dealership. I didn't do my homework on how much my car would have sold in the private market before entering the dealership. And knowing how ignorant I looked, the car salesman used the age-old tactic of making me wait while he checked with his manager. He came back many minutes later with a grim look on his face, said given the condition of my used car, the best he can do was only offer me several $1,000s for it. Now, I'm not a car expert, but for some reason, this just didn't feel right. Thankfully, I didn't trade in my car that day, and I sold it to a private owner a few weeks later at a multiple times what the dealership offered me. A lesson learned was this. While trading your old car at a dealership feels convenient, you'll get more value by selling your car directly to a buyer. Or even dealerships that deal only with used cars. Car dealerships are looking to negotiate constantly with you, and a trade-in car is like giving them an extra hand at the poker table. Don't trade in a car. Go into the negotiation without this chip on the table, and you increase your probability of getting a deal in your terms. Alright, talking about negotiations, let's talk about the third way car dealerships rip you off. The third way car dealerships rip us off is by mixing negotiations. Most car shoppers have an idea of the amount of money they can spend on each month for a car when they start shopping. And salespeople are well aware of this fact. So what they'll try to do is get this number from you. What your comfortable monthly payment is. Whatever you do, don't fall for this trap. Salespeople like to start with the monthly payments because it allows them to combine multiple factors to fit that figure. The trade-in value of your current car, financing terms, the price of the new car, and some random deal they have going on that day. They will get you to that monthly payment number, but you'll be so confused by how they got there. But that is because that is the core of their strategy. Mixing these negotiations allow the dealership to highlight the most favorable figure, like the total price of the car, while covering up less favorable figure like the financing term or the trade-in value. It's not until you get home you realize that while you bought the car at lower than MSRP, you only got half the trade-in value, and the terms of your loan is now 72 months versus the 16 months you originally had in mind. You were just so fixated on the price that the car salesman kept highlighting, you couldn't see the tree in the forest. This is why it's important to remind ourselves of the earlier point of trading in cars. You don't want to bring in a factor that a dealership can use against you. And in addition, break out the negotiations of each sale separately. Negotiate the price of the car before you discuss financing. Never talk about monthly payments. Focus on the total value of the car. Also with financing, it's a good idea to have your loan pre-approved separately before you even start looking for cars. Though you might eventually use the dealership's financing terms, you can use it as a leverage to get them to terms that are more favorable for you. The fourth way car dealerships rip us off is by trying to sell us unneeded extras. Dealerships like to add the dealer-installed options to pad the price of the car. And the most frustrating part is that these are a lot of times added even after price has already been negotiated from our earlier point. These dealer-installed options come in many forms, but the ones I've seen have been just outright weird. Rust proofing, paint protection, or fabric protection. Shouldn't these just be a standard for a new car? And these guys don't come cheap because for the dealership, they translate directly to the bottom line. The fact is that these dealer-installed options are nothing but a complete waste of money. All new cars most often come with adequate rust, paint, and fabric protection applied at the factory. And what's worse is that when dealerships charge you for these unnecessary extras, not only is it a waste of money, it can void the car maker's original warranty on those categories of protection. You might even see them added to your sales invoice at the closing, even when none of it was ever discussed with you during sales. Go through your documents line by line so you know what you're paying for. Or best yet, make sure you clarify with the dealership that you don't want any dealer-added options on your vehicle. If they try to slide it in, no need to do business with that dealership. The fifth way car dealerships rip us off is by upselling expensive extended warranties. I had an interesting experience with this in my previous car purchase. Just when I thought the finish line was just around the corner, they told me they needed me to go into this one secret office to have a final conversation about something important. Not surprisingly, they were trying to add something to their bottom line. This time with a great offer on extended warranties that I couldn't live without. New car buyers should always say no to extended warranties. Not only can they add thousands of dollars to our invoices, they are notoriously bad deals. These warranties are not factory warranties. Those you automatically get on any new car you buy. Extended warranties are policies that kick in after your basic warranty has expired, and they're backed by a third-party underwriter. The probability is that you'll never need the coverage, and even if you do, the money you save on the repairs won't likely come close to what you pay for the warranty. Car dealerships push extended warranties because they get a huge commission for selling them, sometimes up to 50% of the selling price or even more. So it's not a surprise that they try to slide these in at the end of the sales transaction. You're likely exhausted from all the negotiation, and you would like nothing more than the experience to be over so you can drive that car home. But don't put your guard down yet. Say no to extended warranties. It would actually serve you better to save that money so you can use it for car maintenance and repairs down the line. Alright, we talked a lot about how car dealerships are out to rip you off. So the big question is, how do we protect ourselves? How can we wisely avoid being ripped off by car dealerships so we get the terms that are favorable to us? Let me share with you a few tips. Number one tip is to always do your research before you even start reaching out to different dealerships. You need to know the value of the car that you want. Look up Kelley Blue Books, Edmunds, or NADA guides. These websites will give you an accurate valuation of what a new or used car is worth in your area. This way you have a good baseline to start negotiating from. The second tip is to get your financing in order before you ever step into a dealership. You want to approach the negotiation from a position of strength and not be at the mercy of their lending terms. Get pre-approved for an auto loan from your bank or credit union, or even better yet, get a few different quotes so you can compare interest rates. This way you know how much car you can afford and what the true cost of ownership will be. The third tip is not to trade in your car. I talked about this several times earlier. You will almost always get a better deal by selling it yourself. The dealership will give you a lowball offer because they want to make money on the sale of your car as well. They'll also try to use it against you in the negotiation by using phrases like, well, if you're not going to trade in your old car, then we can't give you that great deal. Stick to your guns and sell your car yourself. And always be prepared to walk away from negotiation. If they're not giving you the terms that you want, or if they're being unreasonable, don't be afraid to walk away. There are plenty of other dealerships out there that would love to have your business. Use these tips to avoid getting ripped off by the car dealership, and always remember, dealership is not your friend. They're out to make a profit, and you need to be smart about it so you don't get taken for a ride. Before we go, a final tip that I like to share is to use a middleman, or most often called an auto broker. And this isn't a recommendation for everyone, given you want to find someone whom you can trust. But an auto broker's job is to find you the best deal on a car that you want. And in some cases, they can even get you a better price than if you were to go directly to the dealership yourself. Of course, there is a fee involved. But if it means saving thousands of dollars on the purchase of your car, then it might be worth it. Most often, the greatest savings comes in the form of time and emotion though. I was able to find a family friend in this business who completely changed my car buying experience. In my last car purchase process, I was able to just share the specific specs of the car I was looking for, and within days, he had the car in my driveway, at a price within my range and paperwork ready to be signed. No need to wait at a dealership, no haggling. Now again, the key to this strategy is to ensure that you find someone you can really trust. That's it guys. Let me know in the comments below if you also had similar bad car buying experience at a dealership. Thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to learn more about car and money, check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.